You said until Black Lives Matter, I got a response, but you got some fans in the building, man. He said the greatest line in men's society was with the white guy. I hope you your way down Compton Boulevard, you funky motherfucker. Black Lives Matter, man. Is that a cry for white acceptance when we in the streets singing Black Lives Matter?
No, I think what it is just, see, I grew up in the 60s.
Yes.
And I grew up when people don't understand it's really not about racism, it's more about classism. Because if you black and you got money, you ain't gonna go through the same shit everybody else go through.
Correct.
You know, OJ Simpson, this nigga didn't hang out in the hood. Now, I don't dislike OJ, but OJ didn't hang out in the hood. OJ was rich.
Right.
If OJ was not rich, he would have never got off that trial, whether he killed that lady or not. There's some poor white people to go through the same shit black folks go through. Right. Because it's really more about class and race. Don't get me wrong, racism is in there, but it's more a class thing, and it's the haves and the have-nots.
Right.
And I think that we have to make this. One of the things that I do love about Black Lives Matter is, in my day, it was just in America. What I saw last summer was African-American lives or Black Lives Matter all over the world because of the information superhighway or the internet. Right. And that's a new day. There are, like Dr. King, when I played Dr. King, he said, if we don't learn to live together as brothers, we are going to perish together as fools. What I think 80, 79, or 82 million people vote against Trump. So there are a lot of good people out there. People, do your research. White people helped run the Underground Railroad. There's always been abolitionists. So it's a lot of stuff that we just got to do our research and understand. We're more together than we are divided. But when you get somebody like Trump in the White House that uses that to devise a way to separate people, and he's a brilliant at it. And now, you know, he's so brilliant at it that he turned his own people against the government. And now they're on the outside looking in. You know how many troops they had in DC in my hometown? 25,000, and dared them to come to DC. Well, we'll shoot all of y'all asses. Because it didn't boil down to black and white. It boiled down to a democracy versus sedation. So anarchy. So this is not our fight anymore. Black lives have always mattered to us. But we got to do better because we've gotten caught up in this whole system. This is not our culture. We were stolen into this country. The only group of people who have ever been stolen into this country, stripped of all of our culture, our names, family split up. I don't want to hear anybody talk about, well, we got to forget about slavery. We still are suffering. The food, we're talking about being a vegetarian.
Right.
Well, there's a book you should read called Eating with Mother Nature. And a lot of black people gonna be mad at me. But I'm telling you, Dick Gregory used to be almost 400 pounds. Soul food is death food. We have more high blood pressure, more diabetes, more gout, more anything than anybody else. So it's a whole process when we talk about Black Lives Matter. But I will say this before I stop. These new millennials are just not having the same kind of oppression that our forefathers and my generation grew up with. So that's a beautiful thing. We had a black man in the White House. I never thought I'd see a black man in the White House. I so wish my dad was alive. Wow. I never thought I'd see a black woman before I saw a white woman in the White House. So we're making progress, but we got to do better with each other. And that's what I'm going to say. And don't y'all be writing me, and because I don't even go in my DMs.
DB.
Yeah, that's great, man. I want to go backwards a little bit, but I want to start with this first. Were you satisfied with Barack Obama's term? And how do you feel about having a black woman and Kamala Harris in office now?
Well, let me say this. First of all, we got to look at the overall politics of how bills are passed and everything that Obama did. They blocked him. But you also got to understand, Obama couldn't come in there like H. Rap Brown, like, oh, we're going to take care of black people and we're going to do everything we can for the downtrodden African Americans. No, he couldn't do that. He's got to be the president of all the people. they would have ran that nigga out of there. I'm just saying, they would have ran him. They would have run Obama out faster than they tried to get him out. First of all, they couldn't even believe a black man was in the White House. They hated him.
Right.
If he had been my complexion or your complexion, bro, what's your name again?
Frederick.
Frederick. Look a little like Frederick Douglass people too. No, you got around your eyes, no, let me stop, bro. Please don't come back at me and say nothing crazy. But what I'm saying is, you know damn well if Obama had been my complexion, your complexion, his black ass wouldn't have been in the White House.
You're absolutely right.
If y'all know how many movies, I was telling somebody the other day, I was up for a huge movie, because what happens with me is people come up to me, and you got to understand, I'm a Negro from the hood. I don't know nothing about being no Hollywood star. You know, my girl gets on me all the time about, well, you telling too much and you saying too much and you're acting too niggerish. I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. I'm gonna be me, because I didn't know, I didn't plan to do this, and I didn't have a plan, so I don't know how to be. I'm not gonna just, you know, just diss my people because I'm a star. I can't do that. I wasn't raised that way. So when I say I don't give a F, I don't mean a curse, but if you don't give a F, then you buy into the system, and you get to a point where I'm below doing interviews like this. Well, I'm doing Saints and Sinners, but I don't do African-American interviews. What? Right. Come on. So I think we have to step back with Obama and understand and look at what happened. They blocked everything that he did. And then talk about socialism. They talk about socialism like it's communism. Socialism means for the people. Right now, they try to pass a bill. Do you know how much money they fund the military? Billions. I did a movie I did with Viola Davis. It was called Pentagon Wars. It was about this equipment that they bought. They spent $30 billion and never used the equipment. Is that crazy?
Wow.
They never used the equipment. If you look at the police budgets, they're billions of dollars. And they're killing black people like it's lunch. It's crazy. They blocked everything the guy did, and he was in a bubble. He could not be super black, man. They would have dragged his ass out and made him walk back to Africa. So I'm glad he was there. He did what he could. I think Kamala Harris, you know, because of her background in law enforcement and being a DA back in the day, she has a bad rap. A lot of black people don't like her. She's apologized for that. That's like if you married, man, you're going to apologize at least 20 times in 10 years. I know I've been apologizing the whole pandemic. If you talk to my girl, she's like, oh, this Negro here, y'all think he's so nice. Oh, this Negro needs a lot of work. And I'm man enough to say, yes, so I think we got to give Kamala a pass. Or not to give her a pass, hold her accountable. But it's just, man, back in my day, if you'd have told me, and I'll stop here because this is heavy stuff, that a black woman would be in a White House or a black guy, man, people like, you out your damn mind. Are you Miss Cleo's sister or brother? A lot of y'all don't know. A lot of y'all don't know Miss Cleo. They're like, where's Miss Cleo? Yeah. That's that psychic lady who was taking everybody's money, and they found out she was a correction officer. Right, I'm stopping. Go ahead, bro. What's your question?
DB, go ahead, D.